Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we re-exploring one of the most beautiful stories in the Bible, the widow who had nothing left except a small jar of oil. It's a story about desperation, pressure, and the fear of losing everything. But it's also a story about hope, community, and the God who meets us in our emptiness. Let's get into it. This widow wasn't just struggling, she was drowning. Her husband had died. She had debts she couldn't pay. And creditors were threatening to take her 2 sons as slaves. This wasn't just financial stress. This was emotional collapse. She was a mother trying to hold her world together with shaking hands. If you've ever felt like life is closing in on you, running out of options, you can understand her mental and emotional state. The Bible doesn't hide her fear. It doesn't sugarcoat her situation. It shows a woman who was overwhelmed, anxious, and exhausted. When she cries out to Elisha, he doesn't dismiss her. He doesn't say, "Just have more faith." He doesn't shame her for struggling. Instead, he asks 2 gentle questions. How can I help you? And what do you have in your house? These questions matter. The first one shows compassion. The second one shows possibility. Elisha doesn't focus on what she lacks. He focuses on what she still has, even if it seems small. Sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we forget that anything good remains. Stress narrows our vision. Fear makes everything look empty. But Elisha helps her see that even a little oil can be the beginning of something new. Elisha tells her to do something unusual. Go borrow jars from your neighbors, not just a few. This is huge. She had to reach out, ask for help, admit she was struggling, and let people into her situation. That takes courage. In moments of emotional strain, isolation can make everything heavier. This story reminds us that community is not a weakness, it's a lifeline. The miracle didn't start when the oil flowed. It started when she knocked on the first door. She and her sons gathered the jars, shut the door, and began pouring. And something incredible happens. The oil keeps flowing. Jar after jar. As long as there was emptiness, there was supply. This is more than a miracle story. It's a picture of how God meets us in our emotional emptiness, not when we pretend we're fine, not when we hide our struggles, but when we bring our empty places honestly before Him. The oil didn't run out until the jars did. In other words, God fills what we're willing to bring to Him. When the last jar is full, the oil stops. She goes back to Elisha, and he tells her, "Sell the oil, pay your debts, and live on the rest." The woman who started the story in fear ends it with stability, dignity, and hope. Her circumstances changed, but so did her emotional world. This story reminds us that feeling overwhelmed doesn't mean you're failing. Asking for help is a sign of strength. Small things can become big breakthroughs. And emptiness is not the end, it's the place where new things begin. If you're watching this and you feel like the widow stretched thin, running low, or unsure how you'll make it through, this story is a reminder that your emptiness is not the end of your story. You're not alone. Your feelings matter. And even when life feels empty, hope can still pour in. If this encouraged you, drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more videos that connect scripture with real-life emotional challenges, hit that subscribe button. See you next time.